With exams coming up, Conestoga students may find themselves losing some sleep. But whether that loss comes from stress or cramming, it is definitely not beneficial.
I would say the importance of sleep can't be underestimated enough. And everyone may engage in a certain amount of cramming and sacrifice a bit of sleep, and that's sort of normal or kind of typical behavior for a student. But to totally burn off and not have any kind of sleep, or really like a short amount of sleep during a night before an exam, you're not going to be further ahead, because you're just not going to be thinking clearly come exam time. You may think that you've gotten all that information studied, and at the time that you've sort of tested yourself while you're studying at night, you may know it, but because of the sleep deprivation, you're going to find that your ability to recall those answers are going to be compromised come exam time.
I mean, exams are all stressful. You know, you're prepping and studying and whatnot in the library or at home, what have you, for hours on end. I think you just kind of have to take a break once in a while, and if you do that, then you can kind of keep your head above, you know, murky waters and just stay level-headed, right? So I think, yeah, it's good to study, but it's not good to cram.
Students are trying to study, not cram, so that they're prepared and don't get overly stressed during their exams.
When a student finds that when they're in an exam or testing situation, and if their ability to perform or function in that exam situation is compromised by their sort of emotional or physical symptoms or mental sort of state of being, then I would say it's a case where their stress has sort of exceeded their ability to perform. Because everyone they have this sort of thing that we talk about in psychology, where there's sort of like a peak performance, where there's a certain level of stress that allows a person to function and do well on a test or any performance sort of situation. And that's good, because it helps a person sort of stay sharp, right? But when a certain stress level exceeds a person's ability to kind of cope, then their ability to perform actually decreases.
To help students avoid getting to this level of high stress, counseling services will work individually with each student to find what works best for them. Some things that you can learn through counseling services include deep breathing techniques, relaxation techniques, as well as stress and anxiety management techniques.
Say if a student finds that they're really struggling with exams, or perhaps they're in sort of a negative kind of self-talk behaviors with them. So in other words, say I'm in an exam situation, if I get really down on myself and start to sort of say, well, I can never do well, or I always do poorly. So sometimes having that approach or that mindset can actually cause a person to perform badly. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
So with exams coming up, Conestoga students need to remember to keep calm and carry on. And if they're having trouble doing this, counseling services can help them out. Good luck on your exams, Condors. For Spoke Online, I'm Bradley Zordreger.